Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Is a good machine, yes or no?
So,
60 miles per hour.
dear viewer, we're going to sell this treadmill. My buddy Campo has been storing this treadmill for the last several months. And the time has come to put this thing on Kijiji. We're going to advertise it for about $650 and we're hoping to get $450. This is zAiDiBoy. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. Hey, it's a beautiful day here in Toronto, eh? Look at this. Nice and muggy. You guys don't fucking fall off that shit, eh? They're having a little bit too much fun, huh? Some of which unfortunately is alcohol induced, eh? So I'm thinking of starting a series of lectures called Why I Believe in God. Because people have videos of why I became atheist, and for the most part it's silly things like, oh well, why does God let people starve, like little kids with cancer? Hey, I feel you, I understand all of that. I've written a book called The Art of Suffering. I understand the question. In fact, the answer, which I wanted to actually make clear in another video, is as follows. I read this when I was a kid, quote unquote: the believer only has to explain the existence of suffering. The unbeliever has to explain the existence of everything else, guys. Of course suffering doesn't make any fucking sense. Of course it doesn't. Hey, it makes perfect sense if you have faith, though. That's all there is to it. Now the other thing, it's like Steve Jobs. People say Steve Jobs was atheist. Steve Jobs was Steve Jobs. Okay, that's all. I mean, according to me, he's a man of God, and I can bear that out by just saying simply, what is more important, your actions or your words? Okay, so we have this thing in Islam where you can actually pretend that if you're a Muslim, you can pretend to be a Christian, or you can, like sometimes I smoke weed, and just cause I need to hang out with some gangsters, you'll be like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I just said what I said. You're allowed to do whatever you need to do in order to accomplish your purpose. And it becomes very tricky because you go into the territory of Nietzsche. Nietzsche was a German philosopher, eh? Most people have heard the saying, dear viewer, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That was Nietzsche. Unfortunately, Nietzsche also said God is dead. Now, why do I believe in God? Nietzsche is dead, and he died poor and insane. So, I don't know. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلِبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. The wrongdoers will come to know by what reversal of fortune they'll be reversed. Guys, every tyrant in history, apart from, as far as your humble narrator is concerned, Hey, keep it down there. I was on the balcony here yesterday, shouting, screaming. Just letting it out, guys. You gotta let it out. If you don't let it out, like, you're gonna end up in the nut house if you don't let it out. So Nietzsche talks about this thing called the Superman. Superman means apparently, so we're going to sell this bike too, huh? We got a nice GT bike for sale. I don't know if you can see this. If you're in Toronto and you're interested in a nice bike, $150 and it's yours. And if you are a nice person and you are polite, you can get it for $120. We're also obviously going to be fixing this e-bike up. My buddy said 150 yesterday on the video, but what we meant is that we'll give it to you for $350. We're going to advertise it for $500. And then once again, the last item is this scooter over here. This is a brand new fucking thing. If you know someone who's disabled and you see this video and you don't actually comment or get in touch with me, that would be stupid on your part. The only thing is it's dusty. This is just a preview. We're going to clean it up and put it on Kijiji. Now with Medicare or Canada Health, you could probably get this fucker for free, so that's cool. If you can do that, then this is not for you. On the other hand, it is nice to have a spare scooter. If you have your mom and she lives by herself and she has a scooter and you got her one of those stair lifts, dear viewer, you just put this in the garage. She'll be so happy. Guys, that's a great job you guys have done, huh? So we're gonna try and basically get like 450 for the treadmill, and that's that. So Nishi talks about Superman. Now Superman means the following, kind of what I was talking about. So basically, it's like Training Day with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Oscar-winning movie. Denzel picked up his fucking gold with that role. It was the same year that Halle Berry picked up her gold for Monster or something. No shit, she wasn't in Monster. Anyway, Halle Berry had this movie. I didn't even watch it. I wasn't interested in it. But Halle Berry and Denzel Washington. So that was a smart move. It is actually a move that shows you that the Academy does think along political lines. It's like Peter Jackson didn't get Oscars for the first or the second Lord of the Rings, but for Return of the King, right? For the Fellowship of the Ring and all this bullshit, the Two Towers, they didn't get many Oscars, and in fact, many if any, I don't know. They probably got like sound and production design and costume or whatever the fuck. And by the way, there should be an Oscar for producer. I don't know if there is one yet. Producer is actually the main fucking person in a movie. And you know, God is great. Law of opposites. As per the law of opposites, that's why the producer doesn't get. Producer doesn't have any accolades. You know, you got the director. Producer can be a director. You got a writer. Producer can be the writer. And a lot of times, directors started off being writers, and they hustled. And they went out and got people together to make their movie. That's called production. I'm not talking about set design, right? That's different. Like the DP, the director of production or whatever, that's something else. Anyway, I'm rambling as usual. Guys, in Islam, or rather in the Shia faith, and this is something that the Taliban type Shias, or not Taliban, oh God. Taliban are not Shias, by the way. Taliban are Sunnis. In the Shia Islam, you're allowed to have some leeway with regards to, like if you're in Pakistan or certain parts of Pakistan or Afghanistan or let's say Yemen or like Somalia where these Taliban fuckers are hanging out. If they know you're a Shia, you think they're bad to you guys? They say things like this, that the Shias of course are unbelievers. If you kill a Shia, that's what you need to actually be doing. How about this one? If you skin a Shia alive and pray on his fucking skin, you get a house in heaven. Guys, trust me, we're dealing with the same issues here. I'm not trying to do a Sunni versus Shia thing. In fact, I read this beautiful